Good morning and welcome. This is TMI Socials. I am Chukwufumnanya Digwe, and here's what's making waves across the social media space. Now, the social media space has been lit abuzz as Ike Ekweremadu, once Nigeria's Deputy Senate President, is serving a 9-year term and 8-month sentence for conspiring to traffic a young man's kidney to help his daughter, Sonia, convicted in 2023, alongside his wife, Beatrice, and Dr. Obinna Obeta, under the UK's Modern Slavery Act. He remains the key figure in the case. Now, in early November, President Bola Tinubu sent top officials to London seeking a humanitarian transfer, but UK authorities rejected it, citing doubts over enforcement in Nigeria. Ekweremadu stays in prison until around 2028, while Beatrice returns home after her early release. Now, this is the story that has caught the social media space by storm. A lot of people are talking about how the Nigerian government sent a delegation to the UK to solicit for the transfer of Ekweremadu. There are diverse views on the social media space about this, and let's get to see how the social media space is reacting. Now, Senator Shehu Sani says UK should accede to the request of the federal government and allow Senator Ekweremadu to return home and complete his term. The historical and diplomatic ties between the two countries should be considered. One day, UK may request such favors from Nigeria. That's his view. Let's see another. Now, this commenter goes ahead to say, this whole Ekweremadu issue just exposes how broken our system has become. How can the federal government even request that he completes his sentence here when we still struggle to enforce our basic justice at home? The UK refusing isn't the real headline. The real headline is how little confidence other nations have in our institutions. Until we fix our justice system, rebuild trust, and end the policy failures that have weakened the country under this government, we'll keep facing this kind of international embarrassment. Nigeria needs leadership that restores credibility, not more shut courts. Now, that is that comment. Let's see this one. This one says that the Nigerian government keeps embarrassing us on the global stage. A sitting senator, his wife, and a Nigerian doctor were all convicted in the UK for organ trafficking, a crime as grievous as it is disgraceful. Yet, in the face of such shame, our government shamelessly traveled to the UK to beg for the release of the senator alone, conveniently ignoring the victims and overlooking the gravity of the offense. It's hypocrisy, selective empathy, and a disturbing reminder of how deeply misplaced our national priorities have become. Let's see the final comment on this one before we move on to our next story. This one says, actions have consequences. Regardless of status or nationality, Nigeria must learn that diplomacy cannot be used to launder accountability. If anything, this should be a moment of reflection for our leaders. The world is watching, and justice systems elsewhere do not bend because someone holds a title. Instead of seeking shortcuts, we should focus on strengthening our own institutions so justice at home carries the same weight and integrity. Well, that's the comment that finalizes that one from the social media space as regards the declined transfer of Ekweremadu from UK to serve his term in Nigeria. Now, let's move on to the next story that's trending on the social media space. Now, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar left the PDP in July over principal disputes and formally joined the African Democratic Congress on Monday in Jada Ward, Adamawa State, his hometown, with a large convoy and notable attendees like former Governor Bindow Jibrilla. He pledged to lead real opposition against the ruling APC for the 2027 elections, tying into a reported coalition with figures like Peter Obi and Nasir El-Rufai. A rival ADC faction called the registration invalid due to leadership disputes. Now, while APC's Adams Oshomole questioned Atiku's track record in stabilizing parties, there's a lot of comments and a lot of opinions about this. As you did just hear me say, of course, a faction of the ADC has come to debunk and also say Atiku is not a part of the ADC officially. However, let's see how the social media space is reacting as regards this one. This commenter says, the politics in Nigeria has always been a game of strategy and perception. Amechi, Obi, and co. as merely playing on the sidelines. Atiku remains their father. ADC is just the SPV built to serve his long-standing ambition. Anyway, history reminds us that ambition alone does not guarantee victory. Tinubu will beat you all silly come 2027. Let's take the next comment. This next comment says, political nomadism underplays politics and treats itself as a self-serving endeavor rather than a serious public-spirited calling. Atiku is not an epitome of party loyalty. He sees every party through the prism of his ambitions, yet he brings nothing truly substantial, such as Buhari's cult following or Tinubu's resources and political profundity to the table. Let's see another comment. This next reaction says, his days in the party are already numbered. Once he's defeated in 2027, he'll either retire quietly or go hunting for yet another political platform to settle into for his retirement. A complete political wanderer. Well, those are the comments on this one from the social media space. On TMI Socials this morning, we've gone from talking about the declined transfer of Ike Ekweremadu, from the UK Correctional Center where he's serving his time to Nigeria, and how it's elicited reactions from the social media space. And we've also gone to tell you about the intricacies surrounding Atiku officially joining the ADC. And here is where we draw the curtain on this segment on TMI, and of course, TMI as a whole. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that participated, to our guests, our amazing viewership from the 3 network centers, Lagos, Abuja, and here in Benin. We say thank you very much once again, and do have yourself a lovely day. Bye-bye.